Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on KAJ, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Ariana Lake. Northwest Montana Fair planners are already looking to the future of the event after another banner year. As MTN's Nicole Miller reports, from attendance to livestock sales, the fair was a huge success.
Nearly 80,000 people attended the Northwest Montana Fair and Rodeo this year. That's up by about 4% from last year. Over the course of the 5-day event this year, entertainment, sales, parking, and carnival ride gross all also saw an increase.
I think the biggest important thing is that the people really enjoyed and valued what we put together this year, and that is pleasing for us. That really is. Fair
manager Mark Campbell says one of the biggest shows of the generosity of the community was the success of the market livestock sale.
We had over 260 head of livestock that the 4-H and FFA members raised for our junior livestock sale process. And within that, it's an education that starts, 4 to 6 months before fair ever gets here.
The livestock sale saw an increase of more than $138,000 in revenue this year. And while it was quiet on the grounds today, you might not think much is going on. Campbell says planning for next year's fair is already underway. The south entrance of the grandstand area is where you're going to see one major update. Currently, you have to walk through this stairwell to get in or out of the building, but by next year, it'll be completely ADA compliant and wheelchair accessible. And the bathrooms will also see an update by next year. The current bathrooms are 57 years old and they're not up to standards. Campbell says it's all part of the mission of the fair.
To provide a safe, secure, current set of facilities for the people to come and gather, to learn, to do commerce, and to socialize.
In Kalispell, Nicole Miller, MTN News.
Construction on the projects will begin early next week and run through the end of December. The fair next year is set for August 15th through the 19th. Mother Nature is definitely turning up the heat here in Northwest Montana. For more on our current conditions, we'll turn it over to meteorologist Russ Thomas.
Thanks, Ariana. Yes, it is. Mother Nature is doing that. In fact, those numbers really getting hot in some areas. Northwest Montana, 95 in Troy, Kalispell sitting at 91 degrees, 93 Sula, 92 Sela Lake. Again, these areas for late August, these numbers are very warm, and I think tomorrow even warmer out there. As far as we've got our satellite and radar, not a lot happening. We do have a few clouds approaching and even a couple showers trying to pop in from the west, maybe a few high elevation raindrops. That's going to be about it. We'll have your complete forecast coming up.
Thanks, Russ. In national news, Hurricane Harvey is far from finished with Texas. Forecasters say this tropical storm continues to batter parts of the state with a lot of rain. In Houston, the nation's 4th largest city, federal officials are asking for the public's help now to rescue thousands of people. Kenneth Craig is in Houston with the latest.
Neighbors are saving neighbors in Houston, Texas.
Just try to save people that are stuck in their homes. It's too much for the first responders. You know, they need help.
Emergency crews are overwhelmed, rescuing at least 2,000 people since Friday evening.
2 more and you're done.
Thousands more are still waiting for help to arrive.
Our goal is to try to reach everyone today and get them out of stressful situations.
FEMA is urging boat owners to join the rescue effort.
We need citizens to be involved. Texas, this is a landmark event.
Harvey has dumped 2 feet of rain so far, and another 2 feet is expected. As waters continue to rise, the governor has deployed the entire Texas National Guard to help with the search and rescue. 30,000 people are expected to crowd into dozens of shelters like Houston's downtown convention center. Hundreds are hunkering down at this church.
We all lost everything. We don't know where we're going. We don't know nothing. We just thank God we got life.
Rising water chased Fabian Perez and his young children out of their home overnight.
Nobody had shoes. We just took whatever we can. The water was probably waist deep.
People could be forced to stay in shelters for some time. Harvey could regain strength as it slowly heads back over the Gulf. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Houston.
Authorities in Houston also had to release water from several reservoirs that are overflowing, making flooding worse around thousands of homes. The Red Cross of Montana is on standby to send members to Texas to help with the massive relief response. The organization is now asking Montanans who want to help those affected by Harvey make financial donations. One way you can donate is by visiting redcross.org. You can also call 1-800-RED-CROSS or text Harvey to 90999 to make a $10 donation. The Montana Red Cross is also accepting checks. Here in the Treasure State, moderate fire activity is expected today on the more than 5,000-acre Gibraltar Ridge fire burning in Lincoln County. The lightning-sparked fire is now 27% contained. The latest reports detail that hand crews will finish burnout operations today that started over the weekend, and they'll continue to mop up the fire perimeter. Here's a look at the most recent evacuation warnings in effect for the area. Those have not changed in several days. A pre-evacuation warning remains in effect for the Glen Lake and Sinclair Creek area. Warm and dry weather prompting increased fire activity on portions of the Sprague fire burning in Glacier National Park. Today's fire report reveals that could be the trend for about the next 2 days or so. Most of the increase in fire activity was on the southwest flank near Lincoln Ridge. This fire is about 1,500 acres, and park officials say only about 1% of the park is affected by this fire. A public meeting is scheduled tonight to update residents on the Blue Bay fire. That's the one burning near Polson. This meeting starts at 7 tonight. It's at the Blue Bay campground. This fire remains steady at 490 acres with 60% containment. And a drone flying near the Rice Ridge fire near Sealy Lake shut down firefighting operations temporarily yesterday. Fire officials say they requested air resources to help with this fire, but all air operations were shut down because of the illegal use of a drone. Officials do want to remind you that using a drone is illegal near wildfires. You can face heavy federal fines if you're caught using one. In other news tonight, a Ronan man is charged with 2 counts of criminal endangerment for his involvement in a fatal accident that happened in Lake County. Lake County Sheriff Don Bell says they're continuing to investigate a death that happened on August 20th around 5:45 p.m. on East Post Creek near St. Ignatius. Sheriff Bell says 36-year-old Jesse Qualtia of Ronan died due to injuries during this incident. 39-year-old Roland James Brown from Ronan has been charged with 2 counts of criminal endangerment in the case. Brown is currently being held in the Lake County Jail in Polson with a $50,000 bond. Montana Highway Patrol, the Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribal Police are also helping in the investigation. The Missoula police say a report of shots being fired downtown this morning was a hoax. They say the false call is known as swatting. Lieutenant Bob Bouchy says police received a call just before 8:30 in the morning from a man who said he had a hostage in an apartment in the 300 block of Patty Street. The male demanded a $20,000 ransom and said one person had been shot. The Missoula Police Department, Missoula County Sheriff's Department, and the FBI all responded to the scene. Officials say after contacting the renter of the apartment, they determined the call was a hoax. He said these types of false emergency calls have happened around the country. They're commonly called swatting. An investigation into this prank call is ongoing. A University of Montana faculty union tells us the school is violating its own policy by telling 40 lecturers they might not be rehired. The union tells MTN's Eric Clements the decision to cut short year-long contracts is changing an agreed-upon policy.
Lecturers have always been offered annual contracts until right now. And so they've changed the rules of the road for these folks suddenly, without any notice, and thrown really their whole lives, and frankly, all of the departments that they serve and the students that take their classes, up in the air.
That's the root of the problem in the eyes of the University Faculty Association, a faculty union at the University of Montana. They argue that when UM's administration informed a number of lecturers that they may not be retained after 2017's fall semester, administrators violated school policy. Policy that UFA spokesperson Lee Banville says
was re-embraced and reaffirmed by the university just a couple months ago.
This prompted the UFA to file a formal grievance,
saying that basically the University of Montana violated their agreement by changing this contract from being a year to a semester, and then by not really giving them a semester's notice because they did this on the eve of the semester.
Banville says the grievance aims to hold administrators to their commitments.
What we've asked for is to give these people their annual contract and basically reinstate lecturers that were on the books to teach for a full year.
According to Banville, the UFA wants to work with administrators to reach a solution that works for all parties. Banville worries that UM's actions set a dangerous precedent and could strain future relations between administration and faculty.
This lecturer issue really raises questions about their willingness to stick to the agreements that have been made between faculty and the administration.
In Missoula, Eric Clements, MTN News.
The University of Montana administration released a statement on the matter saying the school's president is reviewing the grievance and will provide a response accordingly. And coming up on KAJ, Russ breaks down your work week forecast featuring plenty of sunny, hot days. And after the break, we start a new series examining the sweeping correctional and sentencing reforms passed by the legislature this year. That's next on KAJ 18.